This video is kindly sponsored by Squarespace. Hey guys, it's Haley and welcome to another bookish video. Today I'm going to be reading a ton of not even new release, early release copies of so many highly anticipated books that are going to be coming out this summer, almost into the fall. I do have one that's a September release. I don't know whether to call that summer or fall really, because in Texas September still kind of feels like summer, to be honest. But I'm really excited to get you guys my advanced thoughts on all of these highly anticipated thriller books, so you know if they're worth the read when they come out, so you can pre-order them if they're just that good. You know I'm gonna give you all the tea. And before we get into the vlog, I do want to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Squarespace. If you've never heard of Squarespace, basically they help you build your website from getting your domain all the way to going live and maintaining relationships with potential customers. This could be a website for your own small business, which I relate to as a small business owner myself, or anything under the sun that you want to create a website for. And it's really hard to stand out and have good SEO among all the millions of options online. Squarespace helps you do that. They take the importance of SEO into consideration and they help boost your website and make it look beautiful so the design stands out and you can continue to grow your brand authentically. The actual creation of the website is so simple. You don't need any prior experience. They have super intuitive tools and helpful AI. Drag and drop and create the perfect template for you. So you're gonna show up in searches more to your ideal customer with their SEO, and then those customers are hopefully gonna stick around and buy from you, read what you have to offer, donate to your cause, whatever your website is for, because of the gorgeous design. And as you can see, there are a ton of different plugins that you can add on your site. I love the calendar option for appointment requests. That is so easy. As a private practice therapist, it's just nice to have that option. You can also sell things, courses, take donations. You can also set up email campaigns so you make sure to keep in touch with all of your potential customers. Squarespace just makes everything so easy, and as a business owner myself, I'm absolutely in love with them. If you are ready to start your business, hit go, let Squarespace help you out. And when you are ready to launch, you can use my promo code for 10% off. I will put that link down below in the description. Make sure you guys go check them out, and thank you so much to Squarespace for sponsoring this vlog. I started out with The Lake Escape by Jamie Day. This one comes out this upcoming July, and it is a thriller about missing women. I have previously read 2 books from Jamie Day. I believe she only has 2 books out. I read The Block Party last year and I freaking loved it. I give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. I thought going into it, it was just gonna be like your standard suburban domestic thriller, but it actually had a real level of emotional depth and character development that I appreciated. I also read One Big Happy Family, and that was less deep than the first one, and I definitely liked it less, but I'm excited to see how her 3rd book goes for me. In The Lake Escape, we are following the disappearances of 3 women, which all happened 30 years apart to the day at this lake. And there are 3 best friends that grew up coming to the lake, having their families' respective lake houses there their entire lives. They're coming back as grown adults with all of their grown adult issues, divorces, bankruptcies, failing businesses, affairs, problems with their children, etc. And one of them goes missing in the present day. So we're trying to figure out why all of these historical disappearances are happening, and also who is going to go missing, why did they go missing, who took them, etc. today. There isn't really too much of a timeline in the past. There are just kind of memories spoken about, and they kind of go through the past aspects of the cases from 30 and 60 years ago. So if you don't like historical chapters, which I definitely don't, then you're all clear there. Also, it does read as just like your standard missing people domestic thriller, but I really like the atmosphere of the lake houses. It feels like something like a Riley Sager kind of atmosphere, if you like House Across the Lake, like the atmosphere of that, or The Last Time I Lied, which is more kind of like a campy setting. You will love the setting of The Lake Escape. I am over halfway through. I just got past the halfway point into part 2, and at this point I'm really liking it. I'm intrigued. It's reading really fast, and it feels real. Like, the characters in Jamie Day thrillers for me always feel like real, genuine people, not over the top thriller caricatures, which we all know I love a crazy drama-filled juicy domestic thriller with characters that are total caricatures, but this is not that. There's actually a level of realness and genuineness to the story, which I like. So I am on sprints right now for my Patreon. We are going to get into another reading sprint. I'm going to get into part 2 of The Lake Escape, and I will let you know what I'm thinking. Okay, this is actually a really funny part of this book. One of the friends, she's like your typical suburban mom type of lady, and she's always thinking about like how she's gonna make the moment an Instagrammable, like perfect, untouchable moment that she can post about. And as things have been going off the rails and secrets and lies have been exposed, her like fake Instagram captions that she's coming up with in her head are so funny. Like, I'll read you this one. When life gives you lemons and your alcoholic husband steals whiskey to make a whiskey sour, girl, call a divorce attorney. Hashtag no joke. Hashtag referrals wanted. Like, that is so real. Hello vlog, I'm now 75% of the way through The Lake Escape. Things have gotten much darker. One of my favorite things to happen in thrillers just happened. It's like a very specific type of business that people are exposed for being in. And if you know my favorite books, then you probably know what it is. I don't want to give it away. I don't want to say it explicitly. It's dark. It's salacious. I love it. I love that this feels like very real, has depth and emotional character development to it, but it also is genuinely giving me like, ooh, thrills. I'm on the edge of my seat. There are many different side plots that keep me intrigued. There's a darkness and a grittiness to it. I really like it, and I really need to know what is going on here. I have quite a few theories at this point. I'm excited to get the confirmation. My Kindle says I only have, let's see here, an hour and 15 minutes left in the book. So I'm definitely going to be able to finish this up on sprints, and I will let you know what I think. We are still having our cozy little thunderstorm moment. As you can see, I have Boba with me here on the couch, and then Mochi is back here behind my legs. Both of the dogs are scared of thunderstorms, so they are totally content to curl up with me, let the storm pass, and we're just reading away. What a cozy day. Hello vlog, I finished The Lake Escape by Jamie Day on sprints with my patrons, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and give it 4 stars. It was a really solid mystery, a really good domestic thriller, but with some depth. I really enjoyed the character development, specifically for our 2 main characters, the 2 perspectives that we were following. And I always feel like Jamie Day tries to put in like some kind of lesson or moral within her thrillers. Like, there is a clear arc, there is something that her characters learn along the way, and I really appreciate that. Like, it makes it feel like it's more than just a dumb little mystery. But that being said, the mystery at the heart of the story was fun, and the plot was tight. It was in there. I mean, I was looking for plot holes, and as everything was coming together, I was like, you know what? I'm really putting the dots together and everything makes sense. It was a pretty satisfying ending, but there was still some ambiguity and mystery to it, like I like. I don't like just a nice little bow at the end. I feel like a thriller feels more thrillery when it ends that way. So overall, I really liked it. Thought it was a solid summer thriller. Not like crazy obsessed, not something I'm gonna be thinking about forever and ever, but if you are looking for a good domestic thriller with some depth to it that is set at a lake, you will probably really like The Lake Escape come July when it comes out. And the next book I'll be reading in this little ARC vlog, I literally just downloaded the audiobook from the Libro FM program where they give you advanced listening copies. Thank you to Libro FM, love that program. I'm gonna start The Missing Half by Ashley Flowers, and I really did not love Ashley Flowers' previous book, and I have some qualms about the way that she speaks about true crime and the way that she represents true crime cases within fiction. I think this is an ongoing conversation and definitely something that I want to make a bigger commentary video on, especially now that I've read This Book Will Bury Me by Ashley Winstead and absolutely loved that one. Interesting to see, compare, contrast how Ashley Flowers handles this book. If you don't know, she is a part of a true crime podcast. I don't love the way that she talks about true crime all the time, and I definitely didn't like the way that she speculated about a real life case through the last fictional story that she wrote about in All Good People Here. But we will get into The Missing Half next. Sounds like it's about two disappearances of women that happen 2 weeks apart from each other in the same area, very, very similar circumstances. And then years later, both cases have gone cold, and the sisters of each of the disappeared women find each other, and they set out to solve the disappearances of their sisters, see if they can find anything about their sisters' whereabouts, or if they've been killed, then their sisters' killers can be brought to justice. From what I could find, it doesn't mention anything about being based on a case. All the reviews seem to be pretty positive, except for a couple that say that a twist rubs them the wrong way. Overall, it is described to be very, very twisty, fast-paced, and engaging, so I don't know. I kind of went in with some reservations thinking about picking up this book, but now that I looked at reviews, I feel like I'm going in with a more open mind. Just knowing that it's not based on anything in particular is good, or at least not anything that's directly mentioned. As we know, that's kind of a problem for fictional thrillers to be shadily stolen from real life events. Like, obviously that's the worst way that you can do it, so hopefully that is not the case here. We'll see. I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna let you know what I'm thinking. Hello vlog, it is a little bit later. I'm off of sprints and I've made a little dent in The Missing Half. I'm 20% in, and honestly, this is just reading like a very standard thriller. I'm not super invested, I'm not gonna lie. Kind of bored at this point. Like, these two girls are just trying to find these little pieces of shreds of information, and I don't really have a reason to care about either of them or to care about their case. I don't know much about them or their sisters, so I guess that's just gonna have to come with more depth in the book, but it is pretty plot driven, and I do find that I am less connected to thrillers that are plot driven rather than character driven, so that is where I'm at with that. One thing that I do find interesting though is that Ashley Flowers is really trying to make a concerted effort to critique journalists, podcasters, the true crime community, It almost feels like she's trying to make up for the damage that she's done in the past, which, listen, good for her. She's seeing the error of her ways. You could have just written a straightforward thriller without doing all of that, because it seems a little performative. I don't know if she's made any statement publicly, but I feel like if she wanted to atone in any way, she should do that on a personal level and not just play out the atonement in her next fictional work. It is kind of funny, like, coming from her, writing a character that's like, ugh, these people think they know anything about me just based off a 55-minute podcast episode. It's like, wasn't that you, girl? I I don't know. That is just kind of funny to me. But overall, it's fine. It's fine. There's nothing glaringly bad about it. I'm gonna keep reading it, but I gotta pause my reading for now because I am off to work. When I get home from work this evening, I will get back into The Missing Half. Hey vlog, it is much later after work. I got home, had some dinner, had some wine, had some chill time with my book, and I am now halfway through The Missing Half. I will say this is very fast-paced and very bingeable. It is just easy to read and get through it very quickly. But along with that, I will say everything that's happening is very like, I don't care that much. There isn't a ton of character development. There's a lot of little plot points happening, but nothing massive. Like, it's all of these kind of like low stakes little investigative discoveries that they're making about the case, but nothing massive, nothing exciting, nothing that's got me really like obsessed with this book. I think it's just something easy to listen to that I don't feel annoyed by. So I don't necessarily want to turn it off. Neutral thriller to me so far. Nothing special. I'm waiting for these crazy twists that people were citing in their reviews to show up. But for the night, I'm exhausted, so I have to go to bed, and I will pick up The Missing Half in the morning. Hello vlog, it is the next morning. I am back from yoga, and you can probably hear it is pouring rain. It is absolutely pouring. It is coming down like crazy. I thought I was gonna die driving home on the roads. It was literally wild. So I had to switch all my sessions over to telehealth, and I'm just gonna stay cozy in my cardigan at my desk here for my work day because, oh my God, the tree outside of my window is literally, it literally looks like it's gonna topple. Oh my God. Well, this is the perfect day to stay in and read throughout my work day. I do have a little bit of a break that I'm about to come up on now that I'll get to read, but before I pick up my book again, I did want to give you an update because I hit about the 80% mark. This book is so easy to binge. Just listening to more last night as I was getting ready for bed, and this morning on my drive to yoga, and when I got back and started half getting ready for my day, I was like, oh my God, I'm literally already at 80%. Like, how is this gonna resolve? I don't know. But one of the sisters is acting weird. Like, I am very suspicious of one of our main characters at this point, and I like that. I like a little bit of a unreliable perspective of our main character, so that's interesting to me. There's a possible theme of like police corruption, police intimidation, what's going on there. I don't know. I'm excited to see how that develops and maybe some commentary there, because that is something that does show up in a lot of real life cases that Ashley Flowers has probably covered, and I like the fictionalized commentary of that if it does end up going in that direction. But I'm still waiting to honestly feel like connected to the characters. I haven't felt that the whole time. It's really plot driven rather than character driven, and I'm still waiting on these supposed big twists. Okay, I will let you know when I hit them. I'm gonna pop my audiobook in right now for my little break that I'm gonna take, and I might just sit here and zone out and watch the rain and finish this book and then let you know my final thoughts. Vlog. It is after work, and throughout my lunch break I did some reading that I wanted to let you know about. First of all, It's brightened up. The storm literally passed on by. It was literally a downpour, and now it's sunny, bright, and beautiful. So I might go read outside in a bit, but I want to update you before I get further into my next book. You probably saw in the B-roll, but before we get into that, let me wrap up my thoughts on The Missing Half. Okay, so we hit the big twists. Yeah, they were big twists, but they didn't hit for me, I'm gonna be real, because they were so unbelievable. Like, it kind of tore apart the entire investigation, which was 90% of the book. Literally the first 90% was all null and void when we learned what the twist was, so I just ended up feeling kind of annoyed that I invested so much time. I mean, it wasn't that much time really, but I invested any of my time caring about the characters and what was going on. Well, I didn't really care about the characters. I don't know what I'm saying. I just thought it was meh, okay? I landed on a 2.5 out of 5 stars. I was gonna give it a solid like 3, which isn't bad, but it means like I have no emotion and no feeling towards it. And then I got to that twist and I was like, okay, now it's plot holes down boots. Nothing makes sense. None of the pieces that y'all were investigating really line up anymore because everything is wrong that we thought we knew. And the ending was also like not a good ending. Like, it's not a happy ending. It's not a satisfying ending. It just didn't sit well with me. I think a lot of this is personal preference. Y'all also know I am not a plot-driven reader in the slightest, so it could definitely be that that's contributing to my lack of caring and lack of enjoyment in The Missing Half. If you like a crazy out of left field twist and you can suspend your belief, maybe you would like this. Oh my god, the child screaming outside my door. Dada is coming, sweetie. Please stop. We're on set, okay? I'm filming. Shut the fuck up. If that sounds like something you'd like, maybe pick it up. Like, it wasn't atrocious really. It wasn't poorly written. I just think the plotting was driving the story and the plotting wasn't up to snuff. And that is just how it is for me. A big twist has to also make sense. It can't just be shocking. And it literally comes out today, I believe, as I'm filming this. So just in the nick of time. Hopefully I get this video to y'all before you spend your money on it. Now we will get into my last arc of this arc vlog, which is a very, very advanced copy. This doesn't come out until September, but I'm so freaking happy to have it because it is my most anticipated book of the year from my favorite author. It is Play Nice by Rachel Harrison. And girl, oh my god, she said, Hailey, remember you don't always have to play nice. I can't really express to you the extent of my love for Rachel Harrison. I have a whole video where I ranked all of her books. I need to do an updated video, especially after I read this one. I love everything she has ever written. I never feel more accurately represented by characters than her main characters. Like, I feel like she can read my mind and my soul, and she just knows my experience and she puts it on the page. I met her at an author event one time and I actually was overwhelmed because I couldn't even accurately express to her in words what I felt when I read her book. So I literally just said, such sharp teeth, which is the name of one of her books. I just started crying and she just knew. And she literally just like took me to the corner and hugged me. I'm like, you're literally an icon. Like, she is so fucking kind and wonderful, and I just love her books. So after the train wreck that was that last twist, I just needed a palate cleanser. So I went ahead and read one chapter of Play Nice and I'm already fucking sold, okay? This main character is chaos personified. Like, I already feel like she's me, okay? She's so contradictory and so avoidant and so like, hee hee ha ha, like my trauma would affect me. I'll just like sleep with a man and like dress in a really cute outfit and like that girl, ooh, girl. And the thing about this book is that our main character is one of 3 sisters, and they grew up in a possessed house. Okay, not a haunted house, a possessed house. So she seems to be this like perfect lifestyle influencer that has everything together, but she's harboring this childhood trauma. And right in chapter 1, her mother dies. So she figures out that she has to go back home, revisit this possessed house, reconnect with her sisters, her family, start unraveling the grief around her mother's death. And I'm really excited to see where this goes. I already love it based off the first chapter, so I'm gonna get a little bit further into this and I will let you know what I'm thinking. Hello vlog, it is much later. I am all comfy cozy and about to get ready for bed. After work, I just went over to my boyfriend's house and we did some parallel play, which means he did his little gaming and I did my little reading. And I am about a third of the way into Play Nice and I'm loving it so much. We basically follow our main character as she is differentiating from her family and trying to find out the truth about this possessed house. And I really like her voice. I will say this main character is definitely more of a caricature main character than Rachel Harrison's previous books. In previous books, like, her characters have felt very genuine and very real. This one definitely feels like a little kitschy, a little quirky, like the empathetic stereotype of an influencer, but definitely more of a caricature than her past female main characters. I still really enjoy her. I think she's fun. And I will mention that there is bisexual representation with two of the sisters in this book, so I really like that. And I'm loving the book within a book trope because she's reading the book that her mother wrote about their possessed house, where previously her sisters and her dad were like, it's all lies, but her mother left her an annotated copy of the book. Even though she promised she'd never read it, she's getting into it and she's starting to parse out what could be the truth. You know, there's always like this person's version, that person's version, and then the truth that lies in the middle. And she's starting to figure it out and make her own meaning of her family dynamic. And it's really interesting. It's really easy to read. It just flows. I love a book within a book trope. And I love this like deep dive of our main character. Rachel Harrison always writes such amazing character-driven feminist horror, and that's exactly what this is. So a third of the way in, I'm like pretty much sold. I might read a little bit more before I go to bed, just because I'm loving it so much. If I do, I will update you in the morning. Good morning, vlog. It's the next day, and I lied, it's actually not morning. I'm actually almost entirely through my day, but I do have a reading update for you. I'm now halfway through Play Nice by Rachel Harrison, and I really love it. The spooky scares are coming in at this point now, and a lot of the spooky scares are honestly just her recontextualizing her family dynamic and what she thought she knew of her family, which that is my favorite kind of horror that Rachel Harrison does. Like, there's always a horror thing, you know, like a werewolf, a witch, in this case like ghosties, demons, but that is not the real horror of it all. The actual thing that's making my heart pound and making me anxious is how this girl had no idea what her family dynamic truly was, and now she's having to do this reckoning as an adult and after one of her parents has already passed. Like, it's really sad, it's really anxiety inducing, but at the same time it's still really fun just because our main character is really fun to follow. So halfway through, I'm loving it so much. I'm already through with my workday at this point, and I have some plans to go to a wine bar with my friends, so I think I'm gonna head over there a little bit early and just get a spot for us, read some more of my book, and we'll go from there. Come along with me to read mysteriously at a wine bar. I love being the mysterious reading girl everywhere I go. Hello vlog. Asked me if I took any B-roll yesterday. I did not, but I had a really good time at my little happy hour, and I actually did get some reading done there. I also immediately after my happy hour went and saw Clown in a Cornfield, which, if you remember, I read those books when they first came out, the first one and the second one. I literally read them when they first came out. They are YA slashers and they just got adapted into a movie. I cannot wait for a sequel. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was so much fun. So if you're interested in seeing Clown in a Cornfield, the movie adaptation, I really recommend it, whether you like the book or not. I just think they did a really great job and we had so much fun. So wanted to give you that update, but as I mentioned, I also got into the latter half of Play Nice while I was sitting there at the wine bar. I have less than 50 pages to go to round it out. I'm still really loving it. I will say we're getting more into the book in the book rather than the story of the book, which I love a book within a book trope, so I'm not mad at that at all. I'm also really interested to get into like what happened in the past and how real it was, like this theme of like sorting through everyone's version of the truth to find your own sense of identity and your own narrative in your life and what that means for you. That's just like the thing of this book, and I really like it. I feel like this is a good quarter life crisis type book, which I feel like I'm always saying that about Rachel Harrison books, but she just does that so well. So I'm absolutely loving it. It's the weekend now. I have nothing to do today. I think I'm just gonna lay out on my patio and finish this book up for you so I can give you my final review. Hey guys, it is a little bit later and I've finished up Play Nice. That was surprisingly emotional, I'm not gonna lie. I was not expecting that emotional impact because I didn't feel as attached to this main character as I have to previous main characters of Rachel Harrison books. She was a little caricature-y, she was a little over the top. I felt like she was painted that way for a reason, and by the end it became increasingly obvious what was happening, and it was really emotional. Like, some of these scenes were hard to read, and I think Rachel Harrison sums it up honestly in the acknowledgments like really well. The last person that she thanks, other than her haters, which is very iconic, is a reader. So me, us, the girls. And she says, "It's often easier for someone to dismiss us or call us crazy than it is for them to admit that we are right. Remember that. Trust yourself." And that is kind of the theme of this whole book. Yes, it's horror. Yes, it has like a Haunting of Hill House, Bly Manor type of vibe. Yes, it's like for the girlies, and she feels very in touch with what it's like to just be a woman in your 20s nowadays. But it's more than that, and I do think it has an impact. Like, just sitting with it now in the aftermath of it, like, it's heavy knowing what this character has learned over the course of the book. I really loved it. I feel like this is no surprise, but I am gonna give it 5 stars. It's like a very melancholy 5 stars though. Like, I truly feel a heaviness with this book that I haven't felt since I read Such Sharp Teeth. This one just feels like very real, very generational trauma core. Like, that is real as fuck. I love Such Sharp Teeth. That is maybe my favorite of hers, and I feel a similar feeling with this one of like reverence almost. So if you like that one, you will probably like this one too. Just be sure to check trigger warnings and take care of yourself, etc, etc. Overall, this was such a successful ARC vlog. I really enjoyed the lake escape. I would say keep your eye on it if you are wanting a summer thriller. Definitely pre-order Play Nice. This was by far my favorite of the vlog. And Missing Half, you know, you could put it on hold on audio at the library maybe, but I wouldn't run out to get it or pre-order it. Those are just my opinions of these releases that are going to be coming out in the next few months. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a like, and honestly, subscribe to my channel so we can keep hanging out. We can keep doing this thing regularly. You can keep hearing my thoughts on books, early releases, backlist books. I do a new release thriller vlog every single month. Join me over here for that. And of course, don't forget to go down below and check out Squarespace if you want 10% off. You can use my code. And lastly, don't forget to go to therapy and read a book this week. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!